Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to start the second January reading vlog. I usually do like two per month so they don't get too long, and I'm actually very excited because I think that the books I want to read in the second half of the month will be exciting. I really hope so. I will talk about my first read of Royal Assassin in this vlog. I just started it. In the beginning we have quite a bit of a recap, which I thought was very well done because with series it's always hard to get back into them, so I actually decided to re-listen to Assassin's Apprentice. I had listened to it last year for the first time, but I wanted to be like all prepared for the rest of this trilogy. But even if you don't, you get quite a good summary of what happened in the beginning of Royal Assassin. So I am about half an hour into the audiobook. It is 29 hours, so that will take up a good chunk of my time, but I'm very excited because I loved the first book, and in this trilogy we follow a character called Fitz. He is a bastard son of the king in waiting, but because of Fitz, his father actually decides not to go for the throne, and yeah, we just watch Fitz growing up. He never actually meets his father, which I think is kind of sad, but he grows up at court with a lot of other characters who become kind of like fatherly figures, but also teachers to him. And he learns to be the assassin for his king. And yeah, I just love this. I think what I especially love about the book is the way that all the character relationships are formed and how they develop and just how layered they are. My biggest critique is that we don't have a lot of female characters, but the relationship with the male characters in Fitz are all so complex and fascinating, and yeah, it really pulls at your heartstrings. The ending of that book is crazy, so yeah, I'm very excited to see where it goes now in the second book. Fitz is a little bit older now. He is 15 at the start of the book, while he was, I think, 6 years old at the beginning of the first book. So yeah, I'm very intrigued to see where this journey is going. There's a couple of characters where I really want to know what happens with them next. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on that one. So excited. And then I'm also reading Harlem Shuffle. It is behind me somewhere. I have the last third, the last part of this book left to read, so I hope I can finish that this week. And then I want to start Priory of the Orange Tree because that's one of my reading goals for this year, so we better start early. And I think I will not talk about that one in this vlog too much because I'll do a separate reading vlog. But that's the reading plans for now. I'm so excited, and I hope these will all be great books, and I'll let you know more when anything interesting happens. So today is the 21st, and last night I finished Harlem Shuffle by Colson, Whitehead. Finally, this took me way too long for the amount of pages that is in here, but oh well. I am finished with it. I decided to give it 4 stars. I thought it was quite entertaining, but just nowhere near the amazing quality of Underground Railroad and Nickel Boys. But I still really liked it. I love the writing of Colson Whitehead. I think he has a very great way of portraying these characters and their environments. And I think that he is such a knowledgeable person. So I always learn something when I read his books, and it's like these just small snippets of information that I just had never heard about before. And I think that is very interesting. And I always find myself Googling stuff when I read his books just to learn more about the things he mentions. So yeah, I had a lot of fun reading this. I have seen that this is now the first book in a series and there will be a sequel. I have no idea where the sequel will go. It will follow the same main character, I gather from the title of the series. But this is definitely a book that you can read very well as a standalone, because it is almost like 3 books in one because of the time jumps in it, and that's also why I didn't really love it, because I don't like time jumps, and we have 2 in here, so we get kind of like 3 storylines that just resemble the like way our main character gets sucked into more dubious sides of business, I would say. Yeah, the ending is quite dramatic, and I was definitely holding my breath at some parts and like freak out a little bit, but it's also sad, and it's just an interesting portrayal of life in Harlem in the 50s and 60s, I guess. So yeah, I don't know if I would read the next book when it comes out. We'll see about that. But for now, I did like this. I will definitely continue reading Colson Whitehead's books, and I'm very glad that I read this. The next book I will start is Priory of the Orange Tree now. Already got it, already started it, but I will do a separate reading vlog for that, where I only talk about that book. So if you're interested, that will probably take a while. But I'll give you like short updates here. And then I am almost a third of the way into Royal Assassin, the second book in the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb. I love it. I love it so much. I love these characters, and I think that it is definitely a step up from Assassin's Apprentice. In this one, we definitely see more strong female characters. We have a bigger inclusion of women in general in the whole story. We have more female soldiers that we see. And yeah, we just start to see the female side of this world, whereas in the first book it was like very much focused on men and their relationships. So that is my like biggest critique of the first book. So it is interesting to now see how things shift because of a certain development that I will not spoil. But yeah, I do like that. I do just love the characters in general, and I think it is interesting the way that Fitz is now building new relationships with other people, but some of his like original relationships from the first book also kind of evolve or change. I think my favorite characters still are Patience and the Fool, probably, but I also love Burrage, and there was just a moment where one of the old dogs just died because it was old. And there was just one sentence that made me cry. So yeah, it has a lot to do with like animals as well. And so if that is kind of a soft spot for you, I would go into this series with a little bit of hesitation. But I just love it. I think the world that is created is so interesting, and I don't really mind that nothing happens. It's just kind of like a slice of lifey, and we just follow Fitz around with his like own little troubles, but also seeing like the bigger picture and what's going on in the kingdom. So yeah, I love it. I just really, really enjoy it. And yeah, I can't really say anything else without spoiling it, but yeah, definitely if you've read the books, I would love to discuss more, which I already do sometimes on Discord. But most people have read like so much more of the series, so I'm always a little bit scared to be spoiled for like the later books. I'll just start reading Priory now because I'm not feeling great. I'm also not looking great. So that's gonna be the rest of my day. So it's another Monday. I just wanted to give a very quick update. I have reached the 25% point in Priory of the Orange Tree, which was very fast, and I'm very happy, and I'm loving the book right now, which is great. I'm also more than a third, probably like 40% into my audiobook, Royal Assassin, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much, and I'm having such a great time reading right now. Like, the fantasy genre is delivering right now, and I'm very happy about that. So yeah, it's going really, really well. Now with Royal Assassin, I guess I could update you a little bit. There is just so much happening, but then it's all just like more minor things. I think one thing that happened right now between Fitz and Molly is something that a lot of people probably don't like. It just happened, so I don't know where it goes. But I can see that becoming more of a problem and me not enjoying that very much. But we'll see. For now, I'm open to what happens next. I think it's so funny. There's just so much funny stuff in here. Like the way that Fitz now in his like situation realizes that all of the men he talks to are old bachelors and no one can really help him with like romancy things. That was like really fun. I love Patience. Patience is such a great character and I adore her and I want to give her a hug and she deserves so much better, to be honest. And yeah, I think the storyline with the Wolf Cup is interesting. I'm not quite sure where it's going and I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. It's happening for now. That's the one part I'm like not super excited about. But yeah, as I said, it's just a lot of like small things, but I find myself laughing quite a lot. I think that it's just very funny, very endearing, and I'm just so happy that I enjoyed this book so much. So that's going really well. Apart from that, tomorrow's actually my birthday, so I don't know how I feel about that. I will bake myself some like vegan muffins now. I must say that this is my first birthday ever where I'm like completely alone. Like none of my friends, none of my family will be here for my birthday. I will like Zoom call my best friend and we'll talk probably. I guess my family will call. But it's like a really weird feeling to not have anyone here on that day. And my partner will be here for the weekend, so that's much better because I'm way too busy this week anyway. So it's okay if he comes here for the weekend so we can actually spend time together. But, you know, it's just weird. Growing up is weird. Being an adult is weird. I do have some packages that I will unbox tomorrow from my friends because I decided not to do a party or anything. I just want them to visit me when they have some time to spend here with me. So yeah, I got some packages. That's exciting. But yeah, apart from that, I will go to work. I will go to the library tomorrow. That's exciting. I will get myself some sushi. And I'll just try to be okay with being alone for my birthday, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna make some muffins now. That's a good plan. It's my birthday! Yay! I will head to work now and probably I'll show you some bookish gifts later. I have received some of them already by my friends. So yeah, if there's anything interesting, I'll share that with you later. And these two lovely books will go back to the library today. And these are the 3 books that I brought home from the library. And we'll see whether I have time to read them. 2 of them are quite good for reading for the Blackathon, so we'll see. So I survived my birthday, just barely, as you can probably tell, but in the end it was a lovely day. I had a Zoom call with my best friend for the evening. We were having dinner together and then I unwrapped my gifts that she sent me and it was just overall so lovely. Like all of my friends got me the most amazing gifts. I'm so thankful and happy. There's so many books that I would love to get to immediately, but as always, when you have such a big TBR, and I consider mine big for me, That's usually just not possible, and that's why I want a 0 TBR, so I can get to these books like super fast. But yeah, it was just great. I had a great time. I'm very tired now, and today I have to stay super late, like way into the evening at work, so I'm not that excited about it, but I think it will be fun. I hope so. I did pack my e-reader so I can take a couple of breaks, and I'm also halfway through Royal Assassin now, so I'm hoping that maybe a little bit more plot will start happening soon, because this is just, as I said, like very slice of life-y, and you just watch these characters go about their lives. But I'm pretty sure that this one will have quite the explosive ending again, similar to Assassin's Apprentice, so I'm very intrigued to see that in the upcoming days. But yeah, so far I can't really talk about anything else. I think the last bit I listened to while I was walking to the library yesterday was where the Fool is kind of telling a little bit of their backstory, and I thought that was very interesting. Definitely leaves open some questions, but that they spoke so plainly about who they are, I thought was very intriguing. And obviously Fitz does not believe them. That's not a surprise, but yeah, I'm completely invested in the whole like King Shrewd, Verity, Regal situation. I'm not so invested in the love story bit of this, and I'm actually very worried where it will go. And yeah, so I think the last bit I listened to was when Fitz asks King Shrewd whether he's allowed to marry, and there's a big misunderstanding there. So things will probably not go well from there for this romancy bit. But it has this feel of doom from the beginning, so I don't know how I feel about that. Also, I was talking on Discord about how I think in the audiobook the wolf parts of this sound very creepy, like not in a like scary way, but just like the wolf is a bit of a creep. Just the way it is read. So yeah, I think that will probably also not have a happy end, not because he's a creep, but because animals just don't have a lot of luck in this series. So I guess I'm supposed to like the wolf, and I think sometimes it's a little bit interesting, but sometimes it's also just spooky when these thoughts just pop up. So we'll see where it goes. I'll keep you updated on my thoughts, but I'm having a lot of fun with the series, so I predict that I will absolutely love the second half now too. So this week is finally coming to a close. It's a Friday today. I'm very relieved. It was a lot. When I came home last night, I just slept for 2 hours on the couch because I was just done. I had like the most horrible headache for 2 days, and it was not very nice. So I didn't really read anything, but I'm glad that this week is coming to an end now. And my partner will be here for the weekend, so maybe we will do something interesting. Then I'll try to share some clips and bits. Again, I don't think a lot of reading will happen, but I hope that we will manage to watch at least some of the third season of Dark. So yeah, that's the plan. And I'll keep you updated.
Von da an wusste ich, dass sich nichts ändert. davon nur eine einzige? Oder existieren mehrere Realitäten nebeneinander?
So today is the last day of January, and as I had suspected, I haven't really read during the weekend. I listened to a little bit of my audiobook while I was cleaning, but yeah, not a lot of progress has been made, but that's totally fine. I was quite sure that I would not be able to finish my two massive fantasy books that I'm currently reading in January. So my stats don't look so great right now, but I'm also tackling some very big books, so that's fine. I'm now about 2/3 of the way into Royal Assassin, and I'm still really enjoying this book. There has been some kind of heartbreaking moments, just smaller things that are still like so sad. And I just love the whole intrigue, seeing, you know, the relationships of the king and his sons and what's going on there. It's just so fascinating to me. And I just feel very entertained, even though there's not a lot happening. So I think that's really cool for a book to do. And I can't wait to see where it goes now that we are getting into the final bits of the story. And then obviously there is the whole third book that is still even longer. So yeah, that's my project for February. But yeah, I think I will be able to finish this audiobook during this week probably, but since the month ends today, I will not finish it in January. And then I'm also more than a third into Priory of the Orange Tree, so that is slow progress as well, but I'm also really enjoying that book. I read about 3 chapters last night, and I was really surprised by some of the things that are happening right now, especially in the storyline of the Queen. So we'll see about that. I'm very intrigued to keep reading that one, and as I said, I'm just really enjoying it. So it is a good month because I'm enjoying what I'm reading. It's just, as always, like quite slow progress because I have so much other stuff going on, and I have just big books, but we do love a good big book, so that's all right. So I will update you one last time tomorrow, letting you know the final numbers where I end the month. Let's see how it goes. I hope I can read some more tonight. I don't really have any other plans, so I hope to make a little bit more progress in both of these books. So here we are. January is over. It went by so fast. But yeah, I managed to get 41% into Priory of the Orange Tree. Still really enjoying it. This book is really not holding back and is very different than I thought. Quite a few shocking moments last night when I was reading it. And then I have 8 hours left in Royal Assassin, which again is a book I very much enjoy. I'm pretty sure I will be able to finish it this week, so then I will go straight into the third part. And if you want to hear my thoughts on that, please come back for my February reading vlogs. I quickly wanted to mention the year-long magical readathon adventure. This is one where you choose kind of prompts and then you have to find your way through this, and in the end you will get a reward when you complete all of it. So you have to do 1 prompt per month, and in January we had a choice basically where we would go. So we could turn left or turn right, and I decided to go with turn right because I finished a series. I decided to count Bitter for that because there is so far 2 books in this series, Pat and Bitter. And since I had read Pat before, I didn't technically start this series, but I did finish it, so that's why I chose Turn Right. And so in February, I will have 2 challenges to choose from, and I actually have books for both of them, I believe. So we could go to the castle, which is a book with a building on the cover, or go in a cave, which is a book with nothing but words on the cover. So that's how far I am with this challenge. I hope you had a good month and a good start to your reading this year, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye!